Hey everybody, this video is going to be a little different from the stuff that I normally upload, so if you're not into that kind of a theory aspect of a movie, this probably isn't the video for you. I had the pleasure over the last week to watch Ready Player One, which is a new video game movie directed by Steven Spielberg, which is based on a book by the same name. There were a few things in the movie that didn't quite add up, which is why I'm making this video in response in theory form. It should go without saying that there will be spoilers in this video, but I am going to reiterate, so there are spoilers in this video. The theory I will be presenting and discussing today, if you had read the title, you would already know, but it is whether Mr. Halliday is actually dead. Before I begin, I would like to make it very clear that I'm basing this theory and future theories on this movie on the information given in the film. I haven't read the book yet, and therefore I will be only working with the information given in the film, and any additional information that was in the book won't be included in the theory. So let's dive right in. At the end of the movie, Wade is presented with the Easter egg, effectively winning the competition that Halliday had set up in order to choose an heir to run the Oasis. Halliday is presented to Wade as a real person, a 3D virtual recording rather than an avatar. Wade even questions this at the end of the cutscene, if you could even call it that, and Halliday just brushes off the question with no answer. So, what does this all mean? Well, let's look at the facts. Firstly, Halliday used the cutscene to explain his motives for creating the Oasis so that the recipient could understand the meaning behind the company and the mindset in which it was intended to be run with, which was to connect with others but live in reality and enjoy one's imagination. Secondly, the simulation features both himself at the age that he seemingly died and when he was younger and first developed his love for gaming. Thirdly, Halliday and his younger self were specifically different to Parzival and the other avatars. No pixels or grids were on their faces, confirming this to be so. Next, he was asked whether Halliday was really dead, and the Halliday in the game responded yes. Lastly, we know that Halliday has created 3D simulations before in the Halliday journals, so it is very likely that this could just be a simulation like the world that the players have been playing in. So then, if Halliday in the simulation responded that the real Halliday is dead, then this should be a clean-cut case, right? Well, not quite. For a very large portion of this movie, the characters were forced to decode riddles and clues given by Halliday to get the keys. Halliday hid clues within his words. Why now would we believe Halliday when he only says one word? Yes. Wouldn't you say, yes, I am dead, or yes, Halliday is dead, or yes, I am just a hologram? The performance of the word also doesn't sit right with me. It's not a sorrowful or emotional betrayal, it's a robotic yes, as if it's been coded, or it just needs to be said, yet everything we've witnessed up to this point portrays a seemingly sentient being. Answering questions, reacting to actions Parzival makes. One could say that this is just Halliday being Halliday. He was awkward and unique, often expressing his ideas and words in different ways, but I really beg to differ. My theory suggests that Halliday is not actually dead in the way that we think he is. In fact, I tend to believe that he has been dying throughout the movie, and is finally put to rest at the end of the egg hunt. But how could this be possible, you ask? Well, let me question you this. How many of you at the end of the film thought Halliday was dead, but leaned towards believing his consciousness had been uploaded into the game? I would say a very large majority of you watching this video already have this idea in your head. It's not a very hard conclusion to come to, seeing as the simulation leaves the answer wide open to interpretation. In addition, the sentience and responses Halliday's avatar and simulation give to our main characters are too advanced to possibly be previously typed code. AI can't possibly be an option, otherwise Halliday would have programmed the AI to continue to run the Oasis on its own rather than pass it off. Halliday's avatar is able to speak to our main character, react to questions, responses, and actions Wade makes. It could be argued that the reason that Halliday didn't answer the question is due to the answer not being written in the code. However, just like Kira, there is always a reason behind why things are left out of Halliday's dialogue. This ending points towards Halliday discovering a way to upload his consciousness into the Oasis before he died, successfully doing so and waiting for the winner of the contest to come to him. Telling anybody about this discovery would have turned into a huge dilemma. Surely Wade accidentally slipping up and telling the truth would become a huge problem for the realm of science and programming alike. It was better just not to tell anyone at all and let Wade run the Oasis in peace. So then why do I believe that he is dying throughout the film if his consciousness has already been uploaded? Well, large gaming companies, specifically in this context IOI. I believe that Halliday saw all these big gaming companies overrunning gaming developers with restrictions and overpowering their creative decisions. Companies which had producers who would only fund games if certain changes and features were made. Like IOI, companies began to see games solely as a profiting source, rather than a creative outlet that the developers used to entertain the players. Halliday was likely hassled before he passed by companies who wanted to profit off the success of the Oasis. In the present day, this can largely be seen through microtransactions, in gaming companies such as EA and the Star Wars Battlefront microtransaction incident, where you pay for the game but don't even get all its content. Street Fighter V locks almost half of the playable characters behind a paywall. Even Solitaire for Windows 10 now includes a microtransaction not to run ads during your gameplay. But doesn't the Oasis have these too? Like the transactions to get better gear and items in the game? Well, in the film there isn't really an explanation for how the shopping precinct works. Real-life items, as far as I could tell, were supplied by IOI, not the Oasis. When Alice's boyfriend bought gear for his epic battle with the house expenses, this was likely to have been bought from IOI directly rather than microtransactions supplied by the Oasis. Wade specifically states that in order to level up, get good items and/or artifacts in the game, you need to have skill in order to get it first, or the skill to kill the person who already has it. The Oasis was run on skill, not riches, which would be the reason enough not to make microtransactions in the first place. This would also explain why it's such a big deal to die in the Oasis and have to level up again, as there is no way around buying extra money through the transactions in-game. We can see during the cutscene a younger version of Halliday playing an Atari pixel game, Space Invaders. You get what you pay for. You get the game. You get the whole experience, not just pixels on a screen and levels that you need to unlock with real-world currency. These restrictions put onto Halliday and other gaming developers likely crushed parts of their creativity. So I believe that when Halliday finally uploaded his consciousness into the Oasis and saw IOI dominating the player base and looking for the first key, Halliday was slowly dying. With each new Sixer joining the game, Halliday's hopes of his game being passed on to someone who cared slowly faded. This is why he implemented the very last test, and why he was so glad Wade hadn't joined with IOI, knowing that anyone who was with the company would fall for the trap if they somehow passed the adventure challenge. Space Invaders aren't just a game that was shown for no reason either. I believe it's a metaphor for the large gaming companies invading the creative space of game developers, invading the gaming market and forcing players to spend more money than they need to for the sake of profit. And the game over screen? Well, that was just that. Game over. With the Oasis in the hands of people who cared for the game itself once more, companies had no chance. Wade mentions how he banished large corporations from making accounts on the Oasis, which shut down IOI. Game over. It was also a very obvious metaphor for the end of Halliday's reign as the controller of the Oasis, the beginning of a goodbye, the end of a chapter. The younger Halliday wasn't upset that he lost the game or that it was game over. He was calm. One could say at peace. Halliday left in peace, happy his game was in safe hands. You can't possibly tell me coding and programming could give a better heartfelt speech than what Wade heard that day. That was from the heart. That was Halliday himself. Well, that's my theory, guys. I'm sure there are probably a few problems with it, but feel free to comment them down below and we can start a discussion. This is my first theory on this channel, and I have a few theories and thoughts about this movie that I would like to bring to light in the future. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and have an awesome day.